Hi, I'm Ben, and today we're going to be talking about how once you wear nice headphones, it's really hard to go back to cheaper headphones. Because not only do they sound good, they also are really durable, which in the long run saves you a lot of money. But that doesn't mean you need to go spend a lot of money up front. I've had these Bose QC15s for over 8 years now, so in this video I'm going to go over some of the expenses that in those 8 years have come up. Almost like operational costs of a vehicle. Then I'll show you how to get your own cheap pair of headphones without being screwed over. Now keep in mind, everything I talk about today is going to be in Canadian dollars, so convert it to whatever you want. Because I'm Canadian, we're doing it that way. If you want a really good deal on used headphones, make sure you appease the used headphone gods by smashing the like button really, really hard. Okay, now that you've done that, my own history and journey with Bose headphones started in 2012. I've had my premium Bose QC15 headphones ever since I started taking public transit to go to college. I got a refurbished pair off of eBay for $125. I swear at the time I thought I was just gonna be scammed and out of money, but it ended up being such a good deal. Up until 2015 when they died for some weird reason. I don't know, it just stopped, they stopped turning on. So I called up Bose and for another $125, they sent me another pair as a replacement pair. And ever since, they've been working just fine. So except for that one fluke in 2015, which Bose support was amazing, which is another reason to go with a premium brand, even if you get a refurbished model, somehow in those 8 years, I cut my cord. I don't know how I did it, but it just got cut in maybe a drawer or on the bus or something. I don't know, but it happened and I had to go spend $20 on 2 new cables. One I got a microphone cable with, and the other one is just a normal cable like this. But the good news is you can just go boop, throw that away, put in the next one, and you're good to go. Then the final thing that I had to pay for as extra expenses in that time, in those 8 years, were the ear pads. So these are the new ones, but in 2019, at some point, they wore out and they were starting to get all like flaky around the ear. I would have all this black crud around my ears. So I ordered new ones for a total of $4.06 after shipping and taxes. So again, dirt cheap. All you do is you look up a YouTube video, but you just yank those off, you put them back on, you're good to go. That brings my 8-year rolling cost average to $274, or $34.25 per year. So why not just get cheap off-brand headphones? Time for a little story time with Ben. Last year, my girlfriend Natalia wanted a nice pair of noise-canceling headphones, so she went on Amazon and bought a pair for $75. Cut to 6 months later and she was left with a bulky, broken pair of pieces of plastic that were overpriced. It didn't work out. We honestly didn't expect that. I mean, we expected them to last longer than a year, maybe even a few years, but not only a few months. It was pretty pathetic. Their sound quality was all right, but what led to their demise was their build quality. After bringing them to her work just a few times, the headband cracked. It's not metal like this, so its plastic build really didn't allow for any give. And obviously when you bend plastic, it just breaks. She prolonged their lifespan for a little bit of time using multiple paper clips to hold the headband together to the thing up until the wire kind of popped because it just wasn't held together and it was hanging by it. It didn't look pretty and the headphones died and game over. They became e-waste just like that, which really sucks. Not only were the cheapo headphones really flimsy, they were really bulky. And when you're wearing headphones for a long time every day, you don't want to have huge bulky like pegs sticking out the side of your head. It's just really uncomfortable. Not to mention, not very fashionable. Also, what you want if you're wearing them throughout the day, you want them to be really comfortable as well. Almost like air, as in you don't feel them on your head. This is important. And this is exactly what the Bose headphones do. Since the flimsy old pair broke, we've held off buying a new pair, or a new used pair, until now. Having our financial goals set and at the top of our mind, headphones weren't really something we wanted to spend a lot of money on. Being frugally minded and knowing that we didn't actually have to spend over $500 on the most recent, newest, latest, best headphones from Bose kind of helped us out here. This is the funny part. Literally on the day that we decided that we wanted a new pair of used headphones, all we did was we went on to Kijiji, and 30 seconds later we found an ad, which is the ad we ended up going with, for $65. Now, the pads needed replacement, and you can see here that they didn't look that great, which is probably why we got them for cheap. But obviously we used that for leverage because I already knew that all we needed to do was order another pair on eBay. So I checked what the current prices were for the same ear pads that I bought. They came to $6.16, and now we knew that we needed about $5 of wiggle room. So we asked for $55, and he said no. Instead, $60. So perfect, it costs us $66.16 for these headphones. Boom, done, just like that. One other thing to keep in mind is the cost of actually going to pick up the item or shipping it. I never ship things on Kijiji, there's so many scams out there for that, so don't do that. That's one way to get ripped off really easily. I just always go pick up the item. Whether you're picking up an item at a retail store or from a Kijiji or Craigslist trade, you need to account for the travel cost. And if you're ordering through Amazon Prime, you're either gonna be paying the shipping cost or the Amazon Prime cost. So you have to factor those into your equation. In my case, I kind of cheated and I just charged up my e-bike batteries and made the 35-kilometer round trip for about probably 20 cents. Let's add in there like 50 cents for food because that was a pretty hot day and I was like, whew, that was a good workout. Now let's round up to $1 just for the heck of it, because why not? Maybe it cost me more in food. After all of that said and done, we have a total cost of $67.16 for a fully functional pair of Bose QC15 headphones in 2020. Debatably, the 35-kilometer trek back and forth was a lot of my valuable time that I could have used elsewhere. But you know what else? A lot of people don't actually get out enough and exercise enough, so I always look at a long trip like that as a positive. I got to spend time in the nice sunset and it was actually really nice. So yeah, I love excuses to get out and just go pick something up and come back. Then I actually did something and I exercised at the same time. What happens if you don't have a headphone jack on your phone? Well, as you probably know, there are adapters out there, and that is going to set you back about $10. Oh no, what a surprise. It's not a lot of money. In Natalia's case, she still has an auxiliary port on her phone, so it's gonna be fine. There's no additional cost. In my case, I got a new phone recently and I had to spend, what was it, $12.42 on that. It's not a big deal. That's $12.42. Oh, and if phones ports get entirely removed, you can just get an adapter for Bluetooth then. And there's even ones where you can put it into these QC15s and they just wrap in right here. Then you don't have any wires at all. I'm not ready for that. I still like my wire, so that's totally an option though. Think of this though, they're like 10 years old and they're still being used and they can still be used in the future. That's a lot of win right there. One more thing to keep in mind, when you're buying these specifically, the QC15s, they don't have rechargeable batteries built in. And actually, I prefer that because they have a AAA battery. And I just have, what was it, for $16, I got 8 AAA rechargeable batteries. That's great, because all I do is I put them in and I always have extras laying around. I gave 2 to Natalia, now I have 6, whoop-de-doo. I use them in flashlights, I use them in my headphones, I use them in mice, things like that. They're just super handy to have around. Even if you're not gonna be using a headphones, I definitely encourage getting reusable AAAs and AA batteries. They're so handy, and I bought them, 2 years ago? For not a lot of money, and I'm using them all the time. I just kinda hot swap them often. It's great. And then if you're on like a long flight or in a car or something, with the rechargeables, you have to find someone to plug in. With these, all you need to do is either get disposables or you can have keep 3 of these. Whenever I travel, I keep 1 spare and I just swap them out because they go for like 40 hours. And then I'm like, oh no, I need to switch. I just go swap and then I'm done. So that's actually a feature for me and I love that. I even use that on my bike lights and stuff. I have my headlight and my backlight. They all run on AAA batteries. So I just keep on swapping them out and keeping everything charged, and you don't even need that many. You just charge them when you're not using them. But these are household items, so I'm not gonna actually include the cost of rechargeable AA's in the final cost of these headphones because they could be disposable batteries, they could be rechargeable, you could get a different deal. I'm just not going to include it. Okay, so after all of this, everything I mentioned, is it worth it? I hope the answer is obvious. My opinion is yes, it is. You save over $400 compared to buying the newest and best headphones that are for sale now, brand new. These once were, the QC15s in my case, these once were the top of the line. Now they're not because there's something new. But does that make them better? I mean, yes, there's a few extra features. Yes, they are wireless, etc. But I mean, if you can handle a wire and if you can handle I don't know, you have to keep them on, but again, I already covered that. Just use the rechargeable AAA batteries. I couldn't even hear myself right there. They're still perfect. They're great. These used to be the best. There's just time has passed. They still won't just fall apart and disintegrate. They're gonna last maybe another 5 or 10 years. You don't need the newest stuff. For most people watching this right now, it's totally worth the few extra hours. No, it's not as easy as going on Amazon, clicking buy, and having it delivered. But you save over $400 by not going with the latest and greatest. So yes, my recommendation is definitely do this. That's why I'm making this video, to make sure that people who think they need to buy the latest and greatest know that they don't need to. Alrighty, so that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope your brain has been expanded, and I hope that now, even though marketing says that you should, you know that you don't have to buy the newest and latest tech. I mean, this is also environmentally friendly to do because you're recycling old tech that other people deem as, I don't want it. But you can save a lot of money by doing this with other pieces of technology as well. With that said, make sure you smash the like button to oblivion and subscribe if you liked this. I will be posting more from cycling to saving to investing. Those sort of things are kind of my jam, so I'll be posting more. I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Oh my God. I kind of just fell.